Basketball. Bubba Basketball is right, Ian. Well, round 2 has started, has commenced.
Round 2 is over, Aaron. We're on the conference
Sorry,
finals.
I am reading words, but saying them as well. Sometimes that's hard. Round 2 is over.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Round 2 is over with an A. And round 3 is commenced, which we could just, no one calls it round 3. It's just the conference finals.
I don't think any of our predictions are wrong at this point from when we change them.
Well,
So
I don't
going
think so,
strong.
because the team that I predicted to win the whole thing,
Which
is
is
Golden
they're going
State,
to.
and I'm 80%
It's-
of the planet,
Yeah,
so
book it.
I'm going to make 3 cents off that bet.
Yeah. Off my $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$10,000, Ian. I'm not made of money.
Yeah. Oh, actually, well, sports gambling is now illegal across the entire country. Did you hear about that?
Oh, shit, really? I heard
The
something
Supreme
about
Court-
it, but I was reading MLS shit.
The
which
Supreme
no one
Court
gets on.
deemed sports gambling, bans on sports gambling to be unconstitutional. So now it's up to the states and whether or not
Oh,
they want to make it legal, and they all are going to, because it's going to rake in a ton of money.
shit ton of money. Shit ton of money. I mean, they're doing it in Europe.
Yeah.
All over the place. I mean, there's actual like professional soccer teams or football
Yeah.
teams that have like Bet365 as
Yeah.
their sponsor. So, yeah.
There's this guy. So at my job, I'm a software engineer and I work for a media streaming company. And some of the people I work with are the content providers, so they're not technical at all. So this one guy, he is just like, he's older, he doesn't know anything about technology, so I have to like walk him through so much shit. And like they came out, and I was like, I wonder what this guy's all about. Like I really wasn't sure. I was like, and then he started telling me about his life. Guy writes for Bleacher Report. He goes to freaking ringside matches. He is just a jack. He does all this stuff. The
guy that doesn't know anything about technology.
No, he's always been like a freelance journalist, and he's a content provider.
Let's
And
have him on the show.
Yeah, this dude, we could. He was at like all of the Knicks Jordan clashes in the 90s.
I jizzed my pants.
Yeah, that dude. So anyway, he blew my, and I told you he's a contributing writer for Bleacher Report. And I was like, holy shit, man. And I don't want to say this guy's name because that'd be rude. But
let's say everything else about him and let people put it together.
yes, search
No.
all tech companies.
Yeah.
Period. So
Technology sportsman. Well, then maybe you'll find us.
the technology sportsman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him that's what his name should be now. So why did I bring him up? So we were talking about that today in what we call our stand-up.
Yeah, I have stand-up meetings at I work in
You know who
hospitality.
invented the stand-up? John C. Rockefeller.
Like standing up and talking?
No, like the meeting where you say what you did, what you're gonna do, and if you're blocked by anything. That's what an actual.
Good job, John. Thanks, John.
And so, we were talking about
What
that.
would we have
And
done without John? We would just,
have
what am I doing? It's 7 a.m. We're at work. What do I do? Everyone go home.
That's a meme. Everybody go home.
Yeah.
So I get on the because they're in Philly, and I get on it's a Skype chat, and I catch him halfway through just like venting on how stoked he is that he can now gamble on sports. He's like, man, I don't have to go through back channels anymore, through like Myanmar, and I'm like, damn man, like you really like gambling? He's like, yeah man, I used to gamble on Brexit. Like,
No, that was a
no,
thing.
I know.
That was a
But
thing.
like, it's just so funny that people get out there and do that shit. Anyway, so you can now gamble on sports. Back to NBA.
Back to the NBA.
So I'll get it started. So last round we had some good matches. I'm actually
Do you ever predictions? Did we write those down?
The predictions
Did
were
you save them?
we didn't predict.
Did I predict anything?
We didn't predict the rounds, but we predicted the people who were going to come out of each conference.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so we're not wrong, but I'm about to flip my pick.
So you don't have any of our predictions we never did.
No, but if you actually see us on Twitter,
On the tweets?
every pundit said that Cleveland was going to have no problem with Boston.
Yeah.
And before game one, TBD podcast posted, I don't know why everyone's saying this. Boston is legit. And then
Yep.
Boston proceeded to beat the crap out of Cleveland. And I want LeBron to get more rings. We're watching history with this man, and he's not my favorite player ever.
I'm okay with it not happening.
I'm not, man. Like, in this social media era where everyone critiques everything about LeBron, the guy does everything right. He doesn't deserve technically anything. I just want him to, I'd like his story to have a little bit less blemishes. I'd like him to be closer to Michael, if it could. I don't think he's better than Michael Jordan, but I would like him to, like, when he beat the Warriors in that 3-1,
Mm-hmm.
like, I would like...
He's got that?
Yeah, he does have that.
There you go.
That's pretty amazing. Anyway, I don't want to see him be beaten by this Boston team, but I think that's going to happen. So let's go over the
What's
second.
his name, Rozier?
Nah, just
Can you imagine
Brad Stevens, man. Like, it's a great coach. He coached Butler to the national championship in college. Butler. It's like, even the name of a school
Legit.
is a subservient thing.
Just
So,
like say butt.
so
It's got a
thoughts
butt.
from the last round. Well, New Orleans, they lost 1-4 to Golden State.
Well, Anthony Davis lost.
Yes, and Rondo and Drew Holiday didn't really step up. And I'm gonna say one thing about that. I think that Houston is going to get swept in this round.
You think they're going to get swept?
Dude, they
Okay.
did not even hold a candle, like, to Golden State yesterday.
There was one winner. Who was it that shook the fuck out of Steph Curry?
That was awesome. That was Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah. Who was that? Who was that guy? Yeah, maybe they are going to get swept. I'm forgetting about Chris Paul.
So Chris Paul had a bad game yesterday. James Harden played well, but you need more than one player to play well, as you saw from LeBron James today. We just watched them lose to the Celtics to go down 0-2.
Disjunct is what I called that game.
So Steph
in the
actually
series.
did that to Chris Paul a couple years ago. Broke his ankles.
Hmm.
And so it was cool. I was sitting there going like, revenge!
Why has no one, like, not mirrored, but side by side that? and
I'm
put it
amazed
online?
that well, he actually didn't make the jumper. He hit the putback.
I know, he put the putback.
No one get any ideas.
With the-
We're doing it.
We got time because this is not live. And the way I edit, this will be June 32nd.
So looking so
said June 32nd.
no, I know it's funny. It's hysterical.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. That's the same number as Magic Johnson. Basketball facts.
June.
So let's just go quickly over the matchup. So New Orleans lost, as we thought
Mhm.
they would, but I think they're going to do better than the Rockets will. Houston beat Utah 4-1, but that series was actually much more entertaining than 4-1 would suggest. I
Yeah.
watched almost every game, and Utah has a bright future.
Yeah,
They
Utah looks
nailed it
scary.
with Donovan Mitchell. Like, he reminds me of Dwayne Wade.
And he nailed it. The putback.
Oh man, that putback dunk that he did in
It's all
game
over the
2.
interwebs.
Yeah, and I think actually that's the only game they won in Houston.
That dunk was the game.
Yeah. Yeah,
Game's over. They win.
and also they have the man with one of the best last names in the NBA. What's Lingles?
What?
Ingles.
Just
His
because
name
my
is-
last name is Lingley.
It's close enough.
Okay.
Well, what's it?
So would I have the
when
best
you
last
play FIFA? Don't you use the guy who has the name that sounds like yours, so you can hear the announcer?
It's Langley, but
close.
in a British accent, it sounds like
I've met
Langley.
plenty of people have called you
Kind of.
Langley. So then I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the 76ers in Boston. So I'm just going to quickly go over the Raptors. They suck. They fired their coach, and he won Coach of the Year at the same time.
When does that ever happen?
Just this week, apparently.
Well, like ever in history. Can you win Coach of the Year and be
Yeah, I
fired?
feel like you should be able to be fired.
Like, does the NBA just like keep paying you
Yeah.
because they said that you should be paid?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that sucks.
I know.
Hey, honey, check it out! I got Coach of the Year. Who's on the line? Fuck. Well, that'll go to the.
I feel like LeBron probably fired him.
Probably.
LeBron called in. He probably wants him to be his own coach.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
He doesn't have a coach.
Well, there was like a meme, and I mean a meme in the literal sense, like an idea going around that Drake should get in the front office because that's the worst, dumbest. This is how Donald Trump became president. People, like,
Yeah.
let's not do that stuff. Okay.
So Sixers.
So okay. So
Raptors.
this is yeah. I think
They're
this is something we should talk about. So the Sixers played Boston, and Boston, like I said, is
Boston's
is
balling.
really well coached team. And I've always, even though Boston Sucks 1989 was my AIM handle back in the day, I've always for some reason liked the Celtics. And Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Marcus Morris, Marcus Smart, like they are a great young team, and they beat down Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, and they really stuffed Ben Simmons, who's probably going to win Rookie of the Year, and had a great first
He
round.
should absolutely.
No, he should, over Donovan Mitchell.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's close, I would say. I could see them doing co-Rookie of the Year with like
That's stupid.
Grant Hill and Jason Kidd, both.
I'm not saying it hasn't been done. I'm just saying it's stupid.
Anyway, so I think that let's talk about this now, because I think let's talk about this before anyone else starts talking about this. If LeBron
titillated.
gets knocked out of the playoffs by the Celtics, this will be the first time he's not in the finals since 2010.
I see.
Since
where,
Kobe
I see
won.
where you're going with this.
Where should LeBron James go?
Are you feeding me a carrot, or are you
No,
actually
I-
open? Okay.
Well, do you actually want him to go there?
No, in the way you painted it, by there he's talking about L.A. Lakers, because that's me. I just, maybe it's because, and shit, could have watched every fucking game this year if you listen to episode 2. But I fell in love with the current roster of the Lakers and what you can get possibly in free agency. Like, I don't want Paul George.
Do you want LeBron?
It's LeBron fucking James. However, and I think I said this before, I don't know if it was just us talking or if it was being recorded, I feel like he would stunt the growth of everyone that's on
I
that
agree.
team, because they're
I
first,
agree.
second, and third year
Totally
players with a couple of key role
Totally
players.
agree.
They got rid of older players.
I think he could. I think some of the players would be well served for it. Answer to this: is Brandon Ingram ball dominant, or could he play off the ball?
He can do both.
So
he
might do
he
well.
would accept.
But
He
Lonzo
would flourish.
wouldn't.
Lonzo would be out the game.
Yeah, he'd be done.
He'd be out the game
But I
because
feel the same thing about Ben Simmons. Like that's why I don't want.
But
We'll talk about that in a second.
yeah,
But
he doesn't have a great jumper, but he's a great player.
talking about Simmons or Lonzo or both, honestly.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one Simmons looks better than when he jumps, does a jump shot. But no, I would. But the way you painted it, I would love to see LeBron James in a Laker uniform and then get something somehow. He'll be in the playoffs. LeBron James makes the playoffs every year, but it'd be fun to see him as a Laker defeat the Celtics. I don't see LeBron James leaving
Ooh.
Cleveland though.
I hope he does it, and I actually know what I hope. So
What would the reaction be in Cleveland if he did it again?
he won them a championship. He owes
Cool.
them nothing.
I'm not saying he owes them anything, but what would the reaction be? Because maybe they don't have big, huge, smart colleges in Cleveland, and they might not be
Boston
the smartest
fans
folks.
burned Isaiah Thomas jerseys after he was traded and his sister
No one
died.
that goes to MIT goes to the Garden.
That's probably not true. So
Well, they probably work at the Garden fixing, like, just, I don't know.
the molecules.
Yeah, the molecules over there are wrong. Really digging for jobs here at MIT. NASA's got 0.1% of the budget now.
So actually, that's what I do want. I want LeBron to stay in Cleveland, and I want, based on all the hoopla as they have been reporting, I want Greg Popovich to trade Kawhi Leonard to Cleveland for.
you wanted him to go to PDX, Portland.
Yeah, well, that's never going to
That's
happen. No,
Ian.
no, I did say that, but Greg Popovich has recently said that he will not trade Kawhi to the West. He wants to trade him to the East.
That's smart.
Yeah, it is smart. And so you better not trade him to Boston, because that would not be smart. That would be Marcus Smart. And terrible joke. You'd probably have to trade Kevin Love. And I really do like Kevin Love, but you can't have Kevin Love, Kawhi Leonard, and LeBron on the same team. They all play the same position.
How old is Kevin Love right now?
He's our age, like
Alright.
1 year older than us, 29.
Oh, then that would be 30.
Yeah, he'll be 30 next year.
That would be an interesting fit for the Lakers.
Kevin Love?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as a third option.
Just a bigger body too.
You want
but-
that off that? You want
but
that money?
that can
Like,
pull.
do you want like a long contract?
I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting. I'm just like picturing
At that
on
point,
roster.
at that point, I
if
would
he's
go
no
Paul
longer with
George.
Cleveland.
At that point, I would go Paul George.
That's true. More better defense.
Yeah, better defense. He doesn't seem like he has a personality that he needs the ball all the time. Like a couple
No,
years ago,
he-
I wanted you to have Russell Westbrook, but it seems like he's a cancer.
Yeah, I don't want Russell Westbrook now. I mean, who wouldn't want Russell Westbrook even last year? But
He reminds me of young Kobe, but I don't think he's gonna mature like Kobe.
yeah, unless he does something, horrible in Denver.
Yeah.
Because I really think that's what changed Kobe. I think that's
I never even thought
fuck.
about
I
that.
can't be that guy,
Yeah.
and I was that guy, and I think he really swallowed his pride, and that he changed his fucking number, and I think that was his mental. Like, I can't change me unless I change something.
I always
about
thought
my
that was kind of an
actual-
egotistical thing because it's 3 times 8, and he had 3 rings.
That was his number in high school.
Oh, is that it?
24
Okay.
was his number in high school.
I'm just a nerd. Okay.
And so am I a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, I think that's what changed Kobe's mindset a little bit. And even that being said, it's not like he really changed his game that much.
Yeah.
He did open up the floor to a few more players, but when it was Kobe time, it was Kobe time.
So I actually
And
want
I
to
don't
spend.
think LeBron's going to stop doing that.
No, so I
Even though
want,
he assists like a
so
motherfucker.
I actually would. I think next episode what we should do is, I put this down in our backlog of things I want to talk about. We should go through all the perspective, and you can cut this out if you want, but like,
No, fuck it.
well, it's gonna sound weird when you're listening to it. Like,
You tell us.
find articles online because there's so many of them of moves the Lakers can do or moves teams can make this offseason.
Yeah.
I want to go through all perspective.
Have like a weird
go
flow
through
chart.
Go through an article, and let's just discuss each potential move.
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk DeMarcus
It'll be
Cousins,
fun.
Anthony Davis.
It'll be fun after the season's over. For
Anthony
sure.
Davis, I think if you guys could get him somehow, but not this year, but next year, can you imagine that?
Gangly motherfucking Laker team.
So you have.
I'm just saying.
Could you imagine how long that team would be? You get Davis at the 4, Ingram at the 3, Lonzo at the 1, Kuzma at the 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can even like pay fuck it, and then if you
girth,
and
though.
if as Magic says he wants 2 max free agents, Klay Thompson at the 2, and then have Kuzma be the 6th man of the year. Could you imagine that team?
As a sophomore, yeah, I can see that.
Fuck yeah, he'd be a 3rd year if they waited because
Kuzma's a rookie.
yes, I understand, but Anthony Davis is not a free agent because I've heard talk that Magic may stand pat until 2019. I have heard that.
I would love that.
I agree.
I would love that because I think there's so much.
I don't think that the free agent class this year is that good except for LeBron.
Well, in the Lakers' second half of the season, if you duplicated it,
Agreed.
is fighting for playoffs right
Yeah,
there.
I agree.
And so give them a full calendar year with an off season. And this is not a Laker podcast, but
No,
I
I'm
agree with you.
happy
That
to
would be
talk
fun to do. That would kind of do a little flow
I'm
chart.
excited about this Laker team because like there's a really good foundation there, and it reminds me of the Seahawks in 2011.
And yeah, totally. And it's kind of rare to see
Yeah.
that. I mean, Utah was like kind of that this
Utah,
year.
Utah like hit like the Damian Lillard lottery, like where Brandon Roy got hurt. In their case, Gordon Hayward left. They made the playoffs. They fell in the lottery. Got a draft pick. They got him from Denver, and then they got a kid who was leading their team in the playoffs. Like that's amazing.
Yeah. So, and that's really cool to see that in the NBA now because the NBA
Yeah.
did turn into more of a theater of just like who are the biggest stars that can be on a team, and these teams make it to the finals, and here's all the money.
Yeah.
And then you just get lost, and the
Yeah.
8 seed teams get lost,
Yeah.
and teams that barely make the playoffs
Yeah.
don't make it.
So, we were supposed to be talking about the playoffs, but I mean, to be honest, it's a foregone conclusion. So,
Yeah.
my prediction has changed. The Celtics are going to beat the Cavaliers.
I thought that was your prediction.
No, I said that in Twitter that they were going to beat them. I said I don't understand why people are saying this, but last time we had predictions in our previous episode, I said Cleveland was
Yeah,
going to
you
come
were
out of the
going
East. I'm
Cleveland.
changing my mind.
Okay.
Boston, just Jaylen Brown. He's 21 years old. Was a borderline all-star. Like it was between him and Goran Dragic for the replacements after somebody got hurt.
I like Goran.
I like him too, but Jaylen Brown's an amazing player. And Jason Tatum, 19 years old, he's already better than Gordon Hayward, who they traded for in free agency. And they're gonna be so good, but they're good now. And I think that they could. I think they could take Golden State to 6 games. I think they can win 2 at home. I really do. And it'll be a really good series to watch. It's just for team basketball Because, like I was saying to you when we were watching that game, like, every shot that Cleveland takes just looks forced, or
100%.
or LeBron had to do something amazing, like an amazing threaded pass or some crazy blow by.
Yeah, not every play is going to be a top 10.
It's impossible to watch. Like, it's really stressful and really not enjoyable to watch the Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, I think that's what's going to happen. But so, here's what I think LeBron should do. He should stay, and he should rebuild that team. I don't know how. I just think it would, for the NBA's sake, not even for LeBron's sake. You get, let's say Paul George goes to, I've heard a lot of talks that Paul George would be a perfect fit to go to Philly to replace Robert Covington. It's a 3-and-D with much better offense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you let Ben Simmons be the ball manager. You got Paul George on the wing, and then you got Embiid down low with JJ Redick and all the other players.
God, JJ Redick.
The guy's just been everywhere.
Yeah, he's been playing for a very long time.
Yeah, he really has. So you got them, and then you have Boston with Kyrie back, and they'll probably get another player.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Cleveland with like a Kawhi, or they're gonna improve, I think. And then that's 3 teams right there. And then you have parity. You got Golden State, Houston, and then what's the third team? I mean, of all, like, New Orleans. New Orleans will get Boogie back.
Boogie back.
Whatever happens with
How
the Spurs.
Stella got a boogie back.
Anyway, I think it would be really great if LeBron stayed in the East. I think it would make next season really good.
Yeah, otherwise the whole continent will just tip over into the Pacific.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going to happen.
Launch New York.
And Ben Simmons just...
Okay, so...
a bunch of Eastern Conference players landed in China today after the signing of LeBron James in fucking LA.
LeBron James decided to start a team in Hawaii.
Okay.
So final predictions: Golden State in 6 for the title.
I think it's Golden State's last year too.
Maybe, man. Like,
I think Steph Curry starts falling
Kevin
apart,
Durant,
like in Beetlejuice. If you remember,
he doesn't even need to be 100% for them to be as good as they are. They're a team. Like, they're a team. They're a team. They play team basketball. Like, so here's my only saving grace for this whole thing is that Golden State wins and Steph wins MVP, not Kevin Durant. Fuck Kevin Durant. Like, I don't like this conversation.
Fuck nice guys.
He's not a nice guy. He's a vindictive little petty bitch, in my opinion. Like, I don't like that I said that. I don't want to be that kind of guy. But, man, I don't like the way that he deals with stuff. Like, that stuff on the bottom of his shoes. Like, he gets in, like, he's started to lead the league in technicals once he was on a team where Draymond Green could defend him. Mm-hmm. Like, I just don't like that kind of personality. He just seems see that. He's like a studio gangster, as they say. Like, I just think he's kind of a little bitch. Like,
that's fair. You don't have to be worried that we said it on a microphone.
Yeah, like,
I mean, it's fair. I mean, I guess.
And the people who say he's the best player on the planet, are you kidding me?
No
one can double team him. If you take 4 Warriors and just have him sit on the bench or lay on the ground, they're gonna make the playoffs. Starting 4 players. Like, I don't want to hear it. If you put Kevin Durant on the Cavaliers and you can double him, he ain't nothing. Like, yeah. So I don't want to hear that. Like, so I hope that
he's definitely not the best player in the world. I mean,
no,
there's no way in hell.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so
LeBron poops Durant's.
Yes. Yes.
So anyway, you want to talk about Kyrie for a second?
Yeah. Actually, So, final thing about the NBA. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I do love Kyrie Irving. I love watching
Uncle Drew.
Yeah, man, and that's a movie that's actually coming out next
month. I know. I'm excited about it.
I'm gonna see that. That'll be great.
There's also a fun movie, a Spike Lee joint coming out. That looks really good.
Oh,
it's a black Ku Klux Klan member, but it's a real true story of a detective.
Yeah,
that
you know
goes
the white.
undercover.
You know who the white main actor is?
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. So I will see that.
Also the same actor from Girls.
Yeah, I actually was also watching Lincoln, and he is a telegraph. What are those called?
Yeah, telegraph.
Yeah. He's I was watching Lincoln and I'm just like watching a period piece. I'm like, wow, what a challenge. Slavery. Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Kyrie.
Yeah, so
Kyrie Ren.
I have such Kyrie Ren. I love that. I have such fond memories of Kyrie, just dancing on fools. Like
He's a baller.
when they put Steph on him in the finals, it was just over. Like Kyrie just knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And because Kyrie's not very good defensively either, and Steph can obviously score on him. But like, I think a lot of the reason that a lot of players, a lot of point guards specifically, don't like Steph Curry is that they have to guard him, and then he doesn't have to guard them, and they protect him. And so yesterday, when Houston played Golden State, they would switch and put Harden on Steph, and they drilled Steph. And also, Steph has an MCL sprain, so I think James Harden ended up getting like 40-something points, maybe even 50. But so Kyrie, it's a little bit of an indictment on him with Boston. Like they're gonna make the finals. Unless Cleveland comes back, like, and even if they don't, like,
these two games have been in the Garden, so I mean that we could see the whole series shift.
They took
2 more games.
Milwaukee took them to 7 games in the first round, so that is possible. But I think Milwaukee has a better team collectively.
Well, and just what the eye test says that there's a better team wearing green than they're in crimson.
Yeah, so Chris Broussard said the other day that even no matter what happens, this is not, and this is a dumb narrative thing, but it's interesting to talk about. It's no longer Kyrie's team, quote unquote. It's now Brad Stevens' team, and I kind of feel that way. It's like. It
can't be your team especially if they win the championship and you didn't play a single minute.
No, you didn't play a single minute in the playoffs.
Yeah,
like I heard a couple trade scenarios to get Kawhi, and it was like you don't trade Jaylen Brown, you don't trade Jason Tatum, you trade either Gordon Hayward or even Kyrie. Like,
can you imagine Kyrie being shopped that much in one calendar year?
He was traded. He wanted to be traded. He didn't go there in free agency.
I know. I'm just saying, man, he's such a talented individual player. Like,
that's an indictment on his look. He had only a couple years left. He was playing with LeBron James. They'd only won a championship a year previous, and I admire his Mamba mentality with I want to be the man. And I could never know what was going on in that locker room. Maybe he couldn't stand LeBron because I'm sure LeBron is overbearing. But at the same time, man, you say I want to be traded or I'm going to get knee surgery, and like you're blindsiding people with that.
Yeah, that's kind of
like they were going to trade Kevin Love to get Paul George to revamp. And I feel bad for Kevin Love hearing about that, but that would have made them more athletic, would have helped them defensively, and they were ready to do it. And then Kyrie's like, I want to be traded.
Yeah.
And they got screwed on that trade. Isaiah Thomas was a disaster. So
as a Laker fan, I agree.
Yeah, so
I was super
Kyrie, I love you, but like if you come back and
we'll see how it goes.
If you come back and you win a championship with Boston, you better hope that Cleveland comes back and wins the next 4 games. So it seems like they need you, because if they go and make it to the finals and then are competitive with Golden State, and then you come back and then help them win or something, you're just like Kevin Durant.
Well, that's Kyrie because he's on the bench and with the team throughout the playoffs.
He's sitting there in the back.
He was high-fiving today.
He had niece. What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
I saw him standing and high-fiving players.
Oh, you're saying like
an hour
he
ago.
feels like that attachment with the team?
If he connects with the team and is part of the team, and they win a finals without him, and he just takes a big slice of humble pie, and he's like, you know what? Let's do this even better next year, and I would love to see Cleveland again next year. And I want to play against him. I could see that happening too.
Look, if
he's
I
in
were
a big
him,
market, great team, great coach.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not saying like.
And he can still be the guy, air quotes. He can still be the guy, but just not a like LeBron or Kobe guy where he's just like, give me the fucking ball, give me the ball. I mean, he's a point guard. You're gonna get the ball.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the ball every fucking time.
Yeah,
and just ball out with your assists and he
doesn't really assist the ball.
Well, maybe that's what he needs to start doing because everyone else seems to score enough to potentially make it to the finals.
Yeah,
so that's what he maybe a little humble pie that he needs to get.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
I agree.
I think he looks good.
I just don't. I feel
green and white.
It's like it's almost like addition or subtraction by addition with that though, like because you put in Kyrie and what you replace Rozier as the like. Anyway, so it's an interesting. They have a good problem on their hands.
No, seriously.
All right, let's move on.
All right, no more basketball. basketball girl, yeah.